In the small town of Oakridge, nestled amidst towering pines and rolling hills, there existed a whispered tale that sent shivers down the spines of even the bravest souls. It was a story woven into the very fabric of the town's history, passed down through generations like a macabre bedtime lullaby. The legend spoke of the Whispering Woods, a dense forest that bordered the outskirts of Oakridge. It was said that those who dared to venture too deep into its shadowed embrace would find themselves ensnared by its dark magic. Some claimed to have heard eerie whispers that seemed to emanate from the very trees themselves, while others spoke of strange apparitions that danced among the branches in the dead of night. But perhaps the most chilling aspect of the legend was the fate of those who dared to defy its warnings. Many who ventured into the Whispering Woods were never seen again, their disappearances leaving behind only whispered rumors and haunted memories. Despite the warnings, however, there were always those who sought to test the limits of the legend, to unravel the mysteries that lay hidden within the depths of the forest. And it was on one fateful night that a group of adventurous teenagers, fueled by curiosity and a thirst for adventure, decided to embark on a journey into the heart of the Whispering Woods. Armed with flashlights and a sense of excitement tinged with apprehension, the teenagers set out into the darkness of the Whispering Woods. The dense canopy overhead blocked out the moonlight, casting the forest floor into an inky blackness that seemed to swallow them whole. As they ventured deeper into the woods, the air grew thick with an oppressive silence, broken only by the occasional rustle of leaves or the distant hoot of an owl. The trees seemed to loom closer together, their branches intertwining like skeletal fingers reaching out to ensnare the unwary. But despite the eerie atmosphere, the teenagers pressed on, their determination driving them ever deeper into the heart of the forest. They laughed and jerked nervously, their voices echoing off the trees in hollow whispers that seemed to mock their bravado. It was then that they began to hear it, the soft, insidious murmurs that seemed to seep from the very earth itself. At first, they dismissed it as nothing more than the wind playing tricks on their ears. But as the whispers grew louder and more distinct, they could no longer deny the truth. The forest was alive with the sound of voices, whispering secrets and half-truths that sent chills racing down their spines. And as they stumbled blindly through the darkness, they realized that they were not alone in the Whispering Woods. With each step they took, the whispers grew louder, their words weaving a tangled web of fear and uncertainty around the teenagers. Shadows danced at the edge of their vision, flitting between the trees like malevolent spirits eager to claim their souls. As they pressed on, their nerves stretched to the breaking point. They began to sense a presence lurking just beyond the reach of their feeble flashlights. It was a sensation that crawled under their skin, filling them with a primal sense of dread that refused to be ignored. And then, without warning, it struck, a sudden gust of wind that sent the trees thrashing and moaning like tormented souls. The teenagers stumbled and fell, their screams lost amidst the cacophony of sound that surrounded them. But as they picked themselves up and brushed off the dirt, they realized with growing horror that one of their own was missing. In the chaos of the storm, they had become separated, and now they were alone in the darkness, at the mercy of whatever lurked within the Whispering Woods. With hearts pounding and breath coming in ragged gasps, they called out into the night, their voices echoing off the trees in a desperate plea for help. But there was no answer, only the hollow silence of the forest closing in around them, like a suffocating embrace. And as they huddled together in the darkness, they knew that they were no longer in control of their fate, that something sinister lurked just beyond the edge of their vision, waiting to claim them for its own. As the hours passed and the darkness deepened, the teenagers huddled together in a terrified silence, their eyes darting nervously around the clearing, as if expecting some unseen horror to leap out at them from the shadows. But despite their fear, they knew that they could not stay hidden forever. They had to find a way out of the Whispering Woods before it was too late, before whatever lurked in the darkness claimed them as its own. With trembling hands, they rose to their feet and began to search for their missing friend, calling out his name into the night in a desperate attempt to guide him back to safety. But as they moved deeper into the forest, they realized with growing horror that they were not alone. Standing before them, shrouded in the darkness, like a specter of death, was the guardian of the Whispering Woods. Its eyes glowed with a malevolent light, and its voice echoed through the trees like the sound of distant thunder. It spoke of the ancient magic that bound the forest, of the darkness that lurked within its depths, waiting to consume those foolish enough to seek it out. And as the teenagers listened in stunned silence, they realized with a sinking feeling in the pit of their stomachs that they had stumbled upon something far more sinister than they had ever imagined. With a final warning, the guardian vanished into the darkness, leaving the teenagers alone once more in the heart of the Whispering Woods. And as they stood there, trembling and afraid, they knew that their only hope of survival lay in finding a way out of the forest before it was too late. With the guardian's warning ringing in their ears, the teenagers knew that they had to act fast if they were to escape the clutches of the Whispering Woods. With their hearts pounding and their breath coming in ragged gasps, they set off into the darkness, once more, determined to find a way out of the forest before it was too late. But as they ventured deeper into the woods, they soon realized that escape would not come easy. The trees seemed to twist and contort before their very eyes, their branches reaching out like grasping fingers to ensnare them in their leafy embrace. With each step they took, the whispers grew louder, their words twisting and warping into a cacophony of sound that filled the air with a suffocating sense of dread. And as they stumbled blindly through the darkness, they knew that they were running out of time. But just when it seemed that all hope was lost, they stumbled upon a narrow path, winding its way through the trees like a lifeline, leading them to safety. With renewed determination, they followed the path, their footsteps quickening with each passing moment as they drew closer and closer to the edge of the forest. And then, at last, they saw it, the faint glow of moonlight filtering through the trees, casting a silver ribbon of hope upon the forest floor. With a cry of relief, they burst forth from the darkness of the Whispering Woods, their hearts soaring as they left the cursed forest behind them once and for all. As they stood on the edge of the forest, bathed in the soft light of the moon, they knew that they had faced horrors beyond imagining and emerged victorious. And as they turned their backs on the Whispering Woods and set off into the night, they knew that they would never forget the terrifying ordeal that had brought them to the brink of madness. The legend of the Whispering Woods.